Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. So after making a video talking about my top 10 favorite animes, it gave me so many other ideas because my list for my favorite manga is actually completely different and has so many different genres within it. And also, while I was thinking about manga, I was also thinking about the honorable mentions in anime that are filled with so many shows that I actually love and cherish. And there's quite a lot. And what I mean by honorable mentions, these are anime that I love. I personally would put them on my list, but I think I would have to revisit them and maybe rediscover why they were so important, because there's a lot of anime that had a lot of impact and we just forget about them because they were so short. Naruto lasted so long, so it kind of took over so many different things, and One Piece and even Bleach, they last so long, so they kind of overtake some of these animes that lasted 2 seasons. And so my honorable mentions are anime that I think deserve more love, that I think are pretty amazing, or are stories that could work its way into my top 10, and I'm gonna rewatch it and hopefully get a better understanding of how I feel about some of these shows. But I watch pretty much all of them, and I feel how I feel about each of them.
Give me the Philosopher's Stone!
Rose.
Like I was just saying, it was a fake, it wasn't real. Besides, it's shattered now.
Liar! You want to keep it for yourself, don't you?
I'm gonna start off with a heavy hitter. This show is incredible, and Fullmetal Alchemist is a show. If someone says that this is their favorite anime of all time, I can't really argue with them. There's no point. This anime has everything. It has a great story, has a great philosophy, it has so many moving parts and pieces, and the writing is incredible. It didn't overstay its welcome, and the story was altered and different, and in my eyes, better. Fullmetal Alchemist is a story that I think is incredible, and honestly, if I recommended this to someone to start their anime journey off with, I think it'd be one of the best recommendations ever, because it can show you the power of storytelling, the way anime is able to do callbacks, is able to tell an incredible story. It has a lot of philosophy, it has a lot of interesting parts, and it's really deep of an anime, and it actually used to scare me as a kid because that show got us into some really heavy topics, and it was like a little traumatizing. This show gets a little too real sometimes, and Fullmetal Alchemist, as an adult, I can appreciate it more and more, and how incredibly amazed that this story is less than 200 episodes. Like, I can't believe that they did all of that. And honestly, it shows how writing does not have to be so long-winded. Like, when someone tells me they prefer Fullmetal Alchemist than the other great genres of shonen, I kind of feel them, because this story is beautifully made and is one of the GOATs, and I can't wait to make a full focus video on it.
They are the ones who are truly evil!
I guess you're just too stupid, L. Too bad. This could have been a lot more interesting if you'd only been a bit smarter.
Next up is another heavy hitter within the anime community. Death Note had a hold on the 2000s and 2010s that it was incredible. Like, Death Note, like that, I can't believe that joke is still going and it's still such a recognizable reference and meme. Like, bro, that show, I actually didn't watch it when it first came out, like, on Adult Swim and stuff like that. I watched it later, and I'm rewatching it now, and I'm kind of meh on it, because I just, it was too psychological for me. It was too much thinking. I didn't get some of the philosophy. I didn't get some of the questions, and I didn't get some of the subtle moments that came within Death Note, because there are some moments where we see Light's personality, and I love how Ryuk notices it immediately, and it's absolutely incredible. Death Note is a story that I think has a lot of meat and potatoes to it. It has a lot of subtext. It has a lot of meaning, and it honestly asks a lot of fundamental and human questions, like what is justice? What is humane? Is it right for a killer to kill another killer? Like, it's stuff. Those are some deep questions that are like plaguing modern society to this day. And wow, like, what is justice? Like, what is the reason for humanity? Stuff like that. There's a lot of things within this story that you can sit down and you can probably like search the internet and find books that people have written, dissertations, written all types of opinions about some of these subjects, and Death Note executes it wonderfully. It's kind of funny how the creators of Bakuman made this same manga. Like, that's incredible to me. Like, that's versatility at its finest. And Death Note, if someone says it's in their top, I understand it, because I also love Death Note, but I guess I wasn't as geeked on it as everyone else. And I think if you like Death Note, you might have some issues. No offense. It's great, but we gotta watch out for you. Okay, next up is Toriko. I really love Toriko. Like, I don't know where the memo was about this anime. I don't know why people don't really talk about it, but I guess I understand, because once again, during the times of the big three, a lot of anime got just thrown underneath and they ended early. But Toriko was actually a really good show, and if you knew about it, it was great. I think I loved most about it was it had energy like One Piece. It had a solid aesthetic. It was fun. It was a concept that was flipped on its head, and the Japanese writers, they have a good way of taking something very simple like cooking and flipping it into a battle manga. Like, that is kind of fun, into a shonen with adventure, fun, and lessons and all this, that, these, and those. The adventure of Toriko is something that I really enjoyed, and I can't believe more people don't talk about it. It's one of those animes that if you know, you know. And I think the fights and some of the gore, it's deceptively gory, and it was similar to One Piece, where it could go from very childlike to very serious immediately, and we saw a lot of crazy things within this story. Unfortunately, I am super excited to make a video on this, but the unfortunately part is because Toriko is definitely a relic of the past. There's no doubt about it. This show is definitely an older relic compared to what we are viewing now within the shonen genre. But I think it has a lot of greatness to it, and I believe that this show should at least be heralded, or at least interested, or maybe more people should watch it and enjoy what it was. Speaking of relics of past shonen, Yu Hakusho. I am so hilarious because I have vehemently stated how much I love Yu Hakusho, but I have yet to make a video on Yu Hakusho because it's such a hard anime to talk about, and it's very contentious in my mind because people will tell me that Yu Hakusho doesn't deserve to be in a top 10 shonen of all time, and I can just argue this all day. And I feel like Yu Hakusho is the starting place for what shonen manga and anime is to this day. I feel like so many people take pieces from Togashi and now they use it here. I feel like Yu Hakusho had to die for so many different anime to live. I genuinely feel that way. And I think we see it most of all in Hunter x Hunter, which is obvious, but I think I see it in a lot of other anime's DNA. And I think they improve upon a lot of the aspects that came within Yu Hakusho, even though a lot of shonen protagonists do not have the depth that Yusuke had. Like, Yu Hakusho, regardless of how it ended, which is very sad, and I can't fault people that are just like, the ending was kind of trash. Like, I really can't fault people that are just like, nah, bro, that ending was not it. And I kind of gotta agree with them, but I think the show did so much with its character building, its writing, the arcs, some of the fights, some of the ways that it held my anticipation as a child and even now as an adult as I skip around and watch it from time to time. It's a really feel-good show and I love it so much. I just wish more people appreciated Yu Hakusho.
なんだよ、この状況は。
大丈夫だよ。大丈夫。ユッキーがユノが守ってあげる。
Here is one anime that I love, and I'm sure I'm gonna get some flack for this. I don't think people love this anime as much as I do. Mirai Nikki was fire when it came out. I love this show to death, and Yuno is best girl of all time. I don't care what nobody says. Yuno is just a down bitch. Like, I don't even know how to say it any other way. Yuno is the greatest girl to ever come in anime ever. She is crazy. She's amazing. She's insane. But she would always protect Yuki. I don't know, bro. I hated Yuki, but listen, I don't even know how to talk about this anime. I can't wait to make a video on it because Mirai Nikki was just great. It was fun, it was interesting, and it's definitely a Gantz baby, but I just loved every gruesome piece of it, and I enjoyed the crazy ride about this show. It was unbelievable how amazingly fun the show was to watch. Alright, so I have a video coming out about how, well, I think I love horror manga and anime a lot. Shiki is a show that I feel like you should watch because it's incredible. It really is incredible. What it does in the least amount of episodes that it does, and the way it showcases a story, the way it shifts. I don't want to give it away because it's such a great story, but like it's amazing and it's eerie, it's creepy, it's fun and it's entertaining, and I don't know, man. It was just a really well told story and it was such a surprise. And I just clicked on it and I just got a great ride, and I'm literally rewatching it now. That's how much I enjoyed this show. And horror anime, I ain't gonna lie, they some of the best out there. It's just not talked about as much.
千葉なのにお前が照れて恥ずかしがる姿はなんかいいな。
お前、今日のお前はなんだか言動がおっさん臭いぞ。ほら、これでいいだろ。私はもう上がって良いだろうか。
I have never been more entertained by an anime than Konosuba. It is just entertaining. It is fun, though I don't like some of the stupid tropes that they keep reinforcing and reinforcing because it gets annoying when there's no growth. But I am just so entertained by this show that I just have to talk about it. Okay, now, don't judge me, but...
Yeah, well, you know. Me? I'm Darling Rito's very cute bride to be.
You can't go around saying stuff like that! Damn, Rito! You devil!
You couldn't tell teenage me nothing about this show. To Love Ru is... Listen, bro, I love this show. I love that stupid ecchi. I love it. 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 And also, I would like to also do another honorable mention. Bro.
Trust your masters, trust your friends, and most importantly, trust yourself, because that is true power.
A heart that is capable of trusting others? I don't think you get it, Shirahama.
How did we just forget about that show? I thought that was a solid anime that no one ever talks about, and I feel like this show is pretty great, even though it got to a point where you're a master, you're a master, you're a master, you're a master, you're a master. It got kind of repetitive and kind of annoying, and also, well, the anime ended and it didn't really finish. The manga was pretty solid. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed a lot of the pitfalls, even though we never necessarily faced the main villain, which was that guy, and we never really find out anything. I don't know, I just liked it. And martial arts anime aren't around as much, and like, I don't know, it just feels like that genre of anime is over. I don't know, it's a weird thing that I'm kind of noticing. But regardless, these are some of my honorable mentions. Those are my honorable mentions. If you want to argue, please do. Please let me know how you feel. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day. Also, if you have any honorable mentions, please let me know. There is a lot of sleeper animes, and I totally missed a lot of animes myself, probably. So give me some recommendations. Anyway, bye.